They didn't know there was a witness.
Carter didn't tell me about the eyewitness.
Yeah, Amish kid, 8 years old.
A man of force.
I'm a police officer, ma'am. I have to talk to the boy.
A woman of faith.
You don't understand. We have nothing to do with your laws.
Yes, I do. Your son's a material witness to a homicide.
Worlds apart.
Now you have a witness.
Yeah, now I got a witness.
Welcome, everybody, back to Spitball Cinema. I'm Shane.
I'm Scott.
I'm Dave.
And we're looking at Witness
today.
Yeah.
And it is a very auspicious day because we are hitting right around the 1-year anniversary of Spitball Cinema.
Hey-o.
That's right.
That's right.
Yep, September 26th of 2024, we created the channel Spitball Cinema. We didn't really film our first episode to around October 4th, 5th, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
But we're coming up on the year anniversary, and this will be our last podcast of season 2. So we've done 40 videos in a year.
Sorry. Not too bad.
So I want to thank you guys for making it possible. We went through some things thick and thin. You know, we had some, little disagreements here and there, but came back and I mean, it's not easy to keep this commitment and keep coming through and
well, life hits you from a bunch of different angles.
Yeah,
so,
we've all had health issues. We've had, just different things that go on in like life. Life just happens.
Work, family, all that fun stuff. So,
Yeah, true.
But what's the best part of getting a little downtime than talking movies?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and for this will be, like I said, the 40th episode of our channel. So I think and we've come a long way from since that first video, that we filmed, and as far as getting.
You remember what the movie was?
Huh? Well, it was different topics.
Oh, it was our introduction.
Yeah, it was
kind of bopping around.
Yeah, bopping around, kind of explain what we were going to be doing and what we were going to be talking about.
What the first one was, but I remember we were talking like Halloween films for a
well,
little bit.
that was later on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll have to.
Yeah.
Coming up.
We got Halloween coming up.
Yeah,
it's just always fun.
Pretty amazing. And so today we're going to be talking about Witness, which is also a 1984 film.
Yeah, just in Terminator 1984. Now Witness.
Now Witness. Boy, 1984 was a good year for films.
Yeah, not bad.
Out of Africa.
Huh?
Nothing.
Out of Africa was 85, sir.
Oh, but they were filming in 84.
Yeah. There you go. Which we want to give a shout out to Robert Redford, who just passed away recently.
That's true.
Since you're mentioning
Out
of Africa, he was 89. But
R.I.P. buddy.
We need to do Out of Africa because that's one film I wanted. But Dave about passed out when I put it on earlier. So
that's a lame one.
It's a good one.
It's good, but oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
but anyway,
talking Witness.
Witness. Harrison Ford.
Kelly
McGillis.
Yeah, special place in my heart after watching, Han Solo and Deckard and everything else, and then just going to this nice gritty police story.
Unlike any Harrison Ford movie you've seen up to that point,
very
different.
So. Yeah.
Very well done. Peter Weir directed this movie, but it's a phenomenal movie.
It is.
Dave, tell what you were telling me earlier about your first impression of Witness.
I didn't really care for it when it first came out, and I think it was because I was expecting, Indiana Jones or Han Solo, and then the movie just kind of wasn't like that, and so I never watched the whole beginning of it. I think I might have caught the ending because I knew when I rewatched it for this podcast, I already knew who the bad guys were in the movie and what happened at the end. But by watching it again today, I appreciate it 1,000 times more because I knew what he was trying to do, Harrison Ford, because he wanted to show people, I want to show people that I can act. I can actually act in a movie where you're not going to see lightsabers or 8 foot tall, walking Wookiees and stuff like that. And that was why he immediately agreed to be in the movie because I think Paramount was trying to secure like a movie contract deal with him, and he said, "I'll do it, but you gotta let me to do. You need to let me pick a project where I want people to see me act."
There you go. Yeah.
And that's what happened with Witness. Um, but yeah, I watched it, and yeah, that like I was telling him, there's a lot of shots in that movie where you could tell what the person's thinking or wanted to say but didn't by just their expressions of the face.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
when that kid saw that picture of Danny Glover, and he was probably shit his pants. The way that Harrison Ford stopped what he was doing, even tells the person that he's on the phone with. I don't even think he even told him like hang
Yeah.
on or
He's like,
something.
yeah.
He knew that kid saw something.
Yeah. And then yeah, that was a huge scene.
Oh,
Well, the
That was a
kid
huge
looks
scene.
over at him with kind of this panicked look
yeah,
on his
Yeah, he was
face.
just like, oh
Because
no.
they've been looking for this guy, through, lineups and through books, mug shots and
and then they
stuff.
threw that guy out of the
And then
club
he's just wandering
Thanks for
wandering through
going,
the
John.
police station, and he sees this cop of the year,
yeah,
and it's the guy that murdered
Yeah, they just murdered that
the police, the other cop,
undercover cop.
you know, and yeah, man,
Oh, powerful scene.
powerful scene, very well done, well shot scene,
yeah.
Well, for me, I grew up small town, uh, Kearney, Missouri, and up north of us, we have Amish communities.
Mm.
So when the movie came out, for me, it was kind of like, oh, I know a little bit about this culture. And there was, yeah, I remember seeing some of the trailers and stuff where, Han Solo was sitting there punching, dressed up as an Amish person punching somebody, and I was
yeah.
like, oh hell, that's hilarious.
Mm.
So for me, there was a little bit of a tie-in because I was not immersed in that culture whatsoever, but I was adjacent to
Gotcha.
that community, and so um, it was interesting because it really was a really interesting look at a life that most people don't understand or
right.
care to understand, and so it was really neat. They did a great job of really representing the Amish community.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Without
and
making them look weird,
yeah, without
yeah,
making them look
looks
backwards or
backwards or
stupid or
yeah,
any of these other things. They were
yeah.
just like, hey, these here they are. Which was great. I thought that was wonderful. And just the fact that they were traveling, but the mom was just so you could tell she was just so paranoid about
Well, they're
all the busyness of the world around her. And that little boy, what a great
Lucas
acting
Haas.
Yeah.
job he did.
Oh yeah.
He went from like wide-eyed, looking at the city and the streets and stuff, and then something as simple as "Mom, I'm going to go to the restroom," and
Yeah,
then
he sees
this
this
horrible
horrific thing.
murder,
Yeah.
and he's got to hide,
Yeah.
in the toilet stall, and just get out of that situation.
Tell Shane about
Oh yeah.
that.
So I was watching like the making of Witness, and um the part where the kid's hiding in the stall right before Danny Glover kicks in his door, he jumps down to slide it in the next stall to hide
Right.
his, if you remember, the hat fell off of him, and he grabbed it as soon as the door got kicked in. Lucas Haas came up with that because he loved Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones.
Ah, well, there you go.
And it was
So
such a,
he
Great,
and
great
it's
did
such,
it.
little reference there. That's kind of cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
I never knew that
I
before.
just never considered it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I
Well,
didn't either.
the scene was so tense.
Yeah.
It's not like a throwaway cameo Easter eggy kind of thing, and that's kind of back when you really didn't have Easter eggs
Yeah.
yet. But yeah, I could definitely see that now looking back at it. Honestly, I still hadn't made that connection.
Well, and then when you have Danny Glover here, this is before he plays Murtaugh in the Lethal Weapon
Mm.
movies and stuff. Because I was telling Dave earlier, I don't think he could have played this character after the Murtaugh character he played. I
Oh
don't think
no,
people would have been able to handle that.
Well, I
yeah, they
mean,
wouldn't have liked it.
wasn't Color
Yeah.
Purple after this movie, or was it Color Purple before?
Colored Purple was, I believe, after this. I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah.
I think it was around 80. I think it was 85.
Okay.
I think, or it was around the same time. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't think, uh, like I said, seeing Danny Glover do this kind of thing, uh,
Yeah. So
after Murtaugh would have been devastated because he was spooky in this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
scary, uh, very scary.
Well, it was just it's one of those movies that has a relatively simple premise,
Yeah.
you know, and it really boils down to a lot of the character interactions because when Harrison Ford has to take the kid,
86 was the color purple. Sorry.
yeah. So when Harrison Ford has to basically just go back with the kid and you know guard him, and the best place to hide is really just off the grid. So I mean, what better place to
Hmm.
go than just back home? Um, And so, yeah, him just trying to assimilate into the society where he is an outsider and they know that he's there to protect someone, but they don't agree with how he's planning to do it or how he talks and stuff. And so he's very much that outsider, who's trying to do the right thing, but has just no concept of how to interact,
Well,
with
his
the surroundings. So,
Harrison Ford's whole world got turned upside down too,
oh yeah,
because he's got this guy that is his captain or his and who was his mentor, his teacher, kind of like a father figure to
yeah,
him, who he trusted. I mean, you learn throughout this this guy has been over to their house for like dinners. He knew the family. You could see that they probably watched football together,
oh
and
yeah.
they've been very close all his career. He's known him for years, and he ends up being the one that kind of betrays him. He's
Oh yeah.
he's in with Danny Go, and Joseph Summer, who plays Schaefer, has a very unique quality, a lot very likable uh, feel and tone to him, where you
Yeah.
you could see you would be one to trust this guy
Oh
with,
yeah.
with
He's
anything.
just got that mentor kind
Yeah,
of presence,
yeah,
that
that, yeah,
the person that you talk to when you had a bad day,
yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, it's
yeah.
part of the job, and you gotta," he's just
Come
he
over,
really does.
yeah, come over. We'll have dinner. We'll have a talk. We'll talk it
Yeah.
out. And so it's just this betrayal that he
Mm.
goes. So his whole world gets turned upside down.
Oh yeah.
Harrison Ford. So at first the kid and the mother are the outcasts coming to the big city. They're in Harrison Ford land.
Yeah.
Then when he gets shot and has to go live with them, now he's the outcast in Amish land.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a very cool how they did both of those kind of stories and how eventually they're going to collide. It's all coming
Yeah.
to a head. Both these worlds are going to
At
collide.
that at the
Mm-hmm.
farmhouse, and
Yeah.
yeah, it
So
really was amazing.
yeah.
Although you know what, I got a gal that I work with, and we'll talk movies and stuff, and I'm always telling her, "Hey, go see this film or go see that film." And so a lot of times, what I'll do is I'll just forward like like a trailer. I was like, "Well, you got to watch Life is Beautiful. Life is Beautiful, one of the greatest movies,
Mm-hmm.
ever. This, just that Italian Roberto Benigni film." And I'm like, "And you got to see Witness, because she hadn't seen Witness." And so I sent her the little link to the trailer, the original trailer,
Mm-hmm.
and just out of nostalgia, I clicked on that just to see it, and I'm watching the trailer, and the trailer tells the whole damn story. I was like, "Holy crap!" I go, "What are they doing?" I'm like shooting an email. I'm like, "Don't watch the trailer! Don't watch the trailer! It ruins the whole movie."
God.
But I
Oh
just
my
didn't
God,
realize that,
really?
the whole way through, it's like, ooh, Witness, and it's Harrison Ford and stuff, betrayed by his, and it's like, but it just lays out the whole story, and I'm like, you're ruining the movie. You just told the whole, like right down to the shootout at the farmhouse at the end, and in the like the
uh,
guy getting murdered, and then the kid going and pointing at Danny Glover, and yeah, I mean, it's like every key plot point is in this trailer. I was like, this is the worst trailer ever. But yeah, because there was just like nothing. It's like, just watch the trailer. So I'm just like, I hate it when movies do that. I hate it when you watch a trailer and it's got either it's a comedy and the only funny lines in the whole thing are in the freaking trailer, or if they tell you the whole story and you're like,
Well, I don't need to go see that now.
yeah, it's like, why did I pay money to see this? I just found out what the story was.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
if you watch something in the trailer, it's completely different than what the movie was even
yeah,
about. That happens sometimes.
yeah.
Did they
Sometimes
show
too.
the infamous Kelly McGinnis scene in the trailer?
No,
Oh,
no,
Ah, he's bringing up that off early.
yeah.
You know.
yeah, it's when
Yeah.
she's milking those cows.
No, she's not milking no cows. She's bathing. Okay.
She's your freak.
Yeah.
But
She's bathing. Then bring her to me.
one of the more romantic scenes in a
Yeah,
lot of
it
movies
is.
with him when he gets the car running and he gets the radio on and the song's
Hmm.
playing and he's just like, oh, I love this song,
Right.
we must dance, and her being like, "Ooh, no, we don't do
Yeah,
that,"
right.
but just being caught up in the moment, and it was a really romantic scene, and they do that mutual break, put on the brakes and
Well,
separate
the old
because,
man hears the music. He
Yeah.
he hears them,
yeah,
and he knows what's about ready to go down. And so he has to come. He goes in there, but the thing I liked about that scene was like nowadays they would have just started making out in the barn, and they would
yeah,
show.
just
But the way Peter Weir and stuff filmed that, you could see Harrison Ford fighting his instincts to cross that line.
And
yeah,
her
You know what
too.
I mean? Yeah,
yeah,
and her
yeah,
too. They kind of like there's a scene. He comes up close to her. He gets up like where he could almost when he almost starts to kiss her, but he stops himself and it's a very
kind of dances
yeah.
away and
He
looks
goes,
around.
oh no much. He kind of goes because he's like, man, I can't cross this line with her. If I do, it's going to be bad.
Yeah,
He knows there's this fine line that he
By the way,
should.
but a
Harrison
great scene.
yeah, Harrison
Yeah.
Ford picked that song.
Oh,
Did he
did he?
really?
Yeah, because he
Oh,
knew Peter Weir knew he was gonna have to sing the whole song, so he said, Harrison, go at it. And so he
Wow.
picked that one. Yeah.
I
yeah,
always
good
wondered
song.
why they didn't use Sam Cooke's version though, because that's a
They
different.
probably couldn't get the rights to it.
Yeah, maybe it cost too
Mhm.
much money or something, but
Yeah.
I always thought I mean, that was a okay version, but Sam Cooke's versions,
Yeah, it would
you
have
know,
been a lot better. But
um,
I
but
don't know. I
yeah,
no,
thought
it's
it
Kelly,
a.
was.
but
I
yeah,
thought it was
we
perfect.
gotta talk about Kelly McGinnis in it. I
I
mean,
think that's one of the.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the scenes that earned him an Academy Award nomination.
oh yeah.
That scene
Oh yeah.
with him and her in that barn. I think that's one of the reasons he was nominated for an Oscar because you didn't see because at this time you have Harrison Ford. He's been playing Han Solo and he just Indiana Jones and here's the big action hero. Yeah, he had some
Hmm.
love interest in this thing, but this is a very romantic type. It's actually a throwback to maybe some of the earlier films he did before he became famous, like Hanover Street and stuff like that.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, which was a great film if you ever get to see that. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not.
I haven't seen Hanover Street,
Yeah,
but
it's a World War II thing. I think you'd like it.
uh,
Yeah, Christopher Plummer's in it. Get a chance, watch that.
well, for me, this one kind of goes back a little more on that film noir kind of vibe,
Especially,
story
well, and
wise.
Hmm.
what helps is also that cool music that's played throughout the whole the movie, and it's done by a French composer named Maurice
Oh,
Jarre.
the score, the film
That
score. Oh
made the
yeah.
movie kind
Yeah.
of weird, but in a good way.
Well, when they go to build the barn, the Amish community, when they
Yeah.
all pulled
Yeah.
together to go build that barn, and that scene there really shows the how the Amish come together as a community and help each other.
Yeah.
They go to
Oh
this
yeah.
barn raising deal, to help this young couple that just got married, and they all come together to build this barn for them.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. It's an all day thing. Everybody hands on deck.
Yeah.
You know,
Everybody jumps in,
yeah,
whether it's food
yeah,
or
it's very community.
cutting lumber or just
Hmm.
whatever, and it's yeah.
Very family and community orientated, and you see how these people they have their own religious views in their own community and how they all come together to help one another out. Something that you don't see as much in Harrison Ford's world in the in the
Yeah,
you
in
know
there.
Might have
as a
like
policeman.
one or
But
two
Harrison
friends.
Ford does get to use some of his like
Carp-
personal carpentry skills.
yes, he does. Yeah,
Helping
and
out
just
there
come
with the
back
fundraiser.
to because he used to be a carpenter,
Yeah,
before. Yeah,
became a
that,
good
I always
actor.
thought that was kind of cool too,
Yeah,
how that kind of came back.
That
yeah.
was one of the reasons why he decided wanted to do the movie. Also,
Really,
yeah.
Just to get his hand on a lathe.
yeah.
Well, apparently he had his own like farm land type of get up where
Oh,
I mean, he did a lot of stuff by himself.
well, I think he still does. I think he has a place out in
Wyoming,
Wyoming.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
But also, the guy that played Kelly McGinnis's is it father-in-law?
Yeah, father-in-law.
mhm.
He was an opera singer in real life.
Really?
I when I was watching it today, I told Scott, I go, I really thought that guy at one point was in the Amish or in the community because I mean that's how well he acted. That part was just
Oh yeah. Well, the
perfect.
accents were
When
great.
he's sitting there talking to that little kid about don't we don't use guns, we don't take lives like the other people on the side of the world do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, opera singer.
Oh darn.
I don't even think he had a movie before it either. He was just known as doing theater and opera and stuff like that. Um,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, but
Well,
then we got to also throw in that Vigo Mortensen is in it,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
that was a cameo I never expected.
and
Well, it's one that you don't realize at the time,
yeah,
and you don't think about it until you go back and
and
watch it after Lord of the Rings and after Vigo became so huge,
with Peter Weir
Hmm.
liked the look of his face, and that's why he wanted to keep him like on screen because I think he was only supposed to be like during the wake or something like that. He
Mhm.
was just going to be like in a corner or something like that. But he loved his face so much, he's like, I got to get him some lines and stuff.
I
Hmm.
love your
Yeah,
face.
I love your
and
face, Vigo.
yeah, and then
Give him my
Jurgen.
camera.
How do you say his name? The
Vigo? Oh,
no, the Russian ballet guy.
oh, Jan. Oh, no, no, you're talking about not the opera guy.
The Russian
Alexander
good enough.
Godunov,
Yeah.
when he played in Die Hard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was his first movie, and he had just
defected.
defected from Russia like 4 weeks prior to shooting this movie.
Holy shnikes, that's wild.
Yeah.
And so Peter Weir hired him because he loved his smile.
I thought he was
There
kind of
you go.
creepy in it.
Well, I
I
always thought it
always
was
found
kind
he
of
was kind of
creepy
creepy.
too.
The way that smile
Well,
like
he
creeped
was
me out.
well. It's because you've got the single mom. Her husband dies young.
And he's
You
on it
know,
right from the beginning.
and he's on that.
Yeah.
So
He's
and
on
then
that at the end of the movie too.
well, true.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
but he
well,
at the beginning he's at the wake going up to her saying he's sorry about.
Yeah,
And bet you
yeah,
know what he's thinking.
yeah, he
You
wanted
know.
to move in.
yeah,
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 I knew
yeah.
what he's thinking.
But here comes this outsider. Here comes
A threat.
yes,
Yeah, it becomes a threat.
yeah. But you can't really act on that threat now, can you?
But see,
And
Give
he
him
he
looks
sees
and
the threat.
things. So
I think he sees the threat before they do.
oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
he sees
oh
the
yeah,
threat, the chemistry between Kelly McGillis and Harrison Ford before their characters realize it themselves.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Even though they've been kind of close, they don't see what he's seeing because he's seeing it with a fresh set of eyes.
yeah,
As does the father-in-law. He's starting to see it too.
yeah.
He's
He's
just trying to like
keep in the middle.
yeah, yeah. What is this music? You know, so I mean
Yeah,
he's you know the only people that don't see it is her is John Book and Rachel. They
yeah.
don't see it yet.
Mhm.
yeah.
I bet even though this force of nature is is bringing
Yeah,
them
and they have
together.
great chemistry in the
Oh
in the
yeah.
Oh
movie
yeah,
as well.
she was
So
really good in
Well,
that.
there's
yeah.
a story to that. When she auditioned for Witness, she had to audition a few times, right? And she's working as a waitress, at a diner. I think it was in New York. Yeah, she's working and she was flying to do this, audition for blah blah blah. Well, she didn't know she got the part or whatever. Peter Weir and Harrison Ford went to the diner, walked in, and told her she had the part as she's working in this diner. Now, think about that. You're sitting there taking orders from all these people and you're running around busy and stuff. All of a sudden, some of her coworkers says, "My God, there's Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford's here." And they come up to her and tell her she's got the part in that movie. I would have quit so fast and walked out of that thing. I would have went with them. I would have left with them.
Oh, I would have too.
I would have here's my tap. Throw them.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just started screaming and jumping up and down. I'd have been like,
yeah.
oh, I'd have been just.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that, dude? Just think about the thrill, because she's talking about that, and she started crying when she's telling the story, because she said she's never had that feeling that feeling that she had like when they came and told her that she had got that role. That's
cool.
such a cool freaking story.
Yeah.
I mean, can you talk about a life-changing event? I mean, that's one of those forks in the road.
Oh,
I mean, that's
she did Top Gun next, right?
I'm not sure. Top Gun wasn't until 87, 86, 87, so a couple of years later.
Oh, yeah, but still,
and then,
what a way to start.
What a way to, yeah. I mean, and really, I mean, people remember her from Top Gun, but I always think of her in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think of her more in this movie than I do Top Gun. I liked her more in this movie, than I did in Top Gun. I loved her character. I thought she was great in this. The acting that she did, and this whole movie that Peter Weir directed. I mean, the cast, the acting, the story. You can tell it's a labor of love. This movie, everybody just seemed like they were, you know, zoned in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
one of the things I appreciated was the shootout at the end of the movie.
Oh my dude!
It was number one. It was loud, like it needed to
Right.
be loud. People missed because they're
Right.
shooting these little snub-nosed revolvers halfway across a field.
Mhm.
They're not going to hit anything. But it was a very intimate kind of scenes. When people died, they died. And we would
Well, it was
we were
actually
always told to stay away
it
from.
was actually shotguns.
Well, shotguns, yeah. Did they both have shotguns?
Hmm
I thought
The only one had the snub nose was Joseph Summer.
Oh, when he came out at the end,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember we were always told to stay the hell away from the silos, the grain silos.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
was always a
Yeah. You be
stay the hell
careful.
away. Those things are dangerous.
They'll kill you.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
and so it was weird watching the movie being, oh dude, don't go in there. That's a grain silo. You're gonna see that's what happens.
Well,
It's like
and before these guys show up, the little kid's taking Harrison Ford through he shows him the grain silo. He said, "This is really Echo." So he shows him all this different stuff. And the thing about the shootout, when that shootout before it happens, when you see them when they finally have figured out where they are, you see this car come up over the hill, and then it stops,
farm.
and it kind of rolls back down, and it is freaking spooky. And when these guys get out and they start walking, these three guys, it's almost like high noon, kind of. They start walking towards this farm, and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh my God, these poor people." This is just a family that just wants to protect this little boy. He just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and here come these three monsters coming in to try to kill this poor little kid and his family over freaking money, from drugs, you know, and they're just freaking monsters, and it just makes you sick to your stomach because you're like, oh God, how are they going to get out of this? They're coming after Harrison Ford, and if they get him, the whole family's going to die, because they'll kill them all, especially Danny Glover, because you've already seen him cut that policeman's throat, especially him.
Yeah, not going to leave anybody alive.
Yeah, and so I always thought that was a very spooky type of scene.
It's a scary scene. It is.
Yeah, it's very gut wrenching.
See, I thought the kid should have grabbed the gun and killed, shot the
That would be very Hollywood.
I know.
But
That's why. See, I mean, what's making me bring up something. That's why it did so well with critics is because it didn't go that way.
well, and then
They did those Harrison Ford and what Kelly McGinnis's characters didn't get together.
well,
Yeah.
then again, when it's a good point you make there, Dave, because earlier in the film, Harrison Ford catches the little boy touching his loaded gun. Remember, and he
Screamed at
screams at him, "Don't move! This is a loaded." And they make a big deal about how this loaded gun is dangerous, and you don't touch a loaded gun. So it kind of like a gun control kind of thing. Hey, this kid,
Oh,
don't touch this. This is dangerous, but it can save the life of the person.
Yeah. Here,
And
let me take the bullets out. Now you can play with
yeah,
it.
now you can play with it.
Which is
And then she
which is
walks
very
in.
80s.
Exactly. And she walks in about freaks out,
she's about to shit her pants.
Yeah, and it had kind of a cool scene when, he comes back when she gives him the gun. Remember, she put the bullets in the flour.
Yeah,
that was
And he
awesome.
blows, and when he comes back and he hands them back to her, he says, "Don't put them in the peaches."
Yeah.
And so you could very well see where that could have went that way, where
Yeah.
even the old man who says this is for taking a human
And
life,
yeah.
they could have had him shoot one of the guys and kill him
Yeah.
because he's trying to kill his grandson.
Yeah.
He could have went and did the total opposite of who he is and what he's about. But then again, that might have destroyed his character as an Amish person.
Absolutely.
They actually, but you could see how Hollywood could have done it. You could have went that direction.
Well, that's the thing. Back then, you don't do it because that's the division between the two worlds.
Right.
Today, they would have done it in a heartbeat.
They would have done it in a heartbeat.
Because it's the, not so much that, it's like the subverting expectations. Well, he's a pacifist, so there's no way he's going to shoot anybody, so he shoots somebody.
And
it's
his
just that horrible.
His
writing.
values didn't really matter.
Yeah,
that's how they would.
Gray.
That's how they would portray that. His values really didn't matter, even though he's been preaching this. When it comes down to it, his values didn't.
Yeah.
And you could see that how they could.
Well, Rachel and Book would have hooked up because
because they can't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which that would have been hard.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
So
But I don't know if they could do that nowadays. I don't know if they could get a movie made where they weren't forced to cross one of those lines.
Right, and they would do
They have to be independent.
and they would do the expected thing now. They wouldn't do the unexpected, which I think that was using very restraint on. You could see the restraint that they were using in this movie, which makes this movie such a great movie.
Oh yeah,
because they don't do the typical thing.
Yeah, and at the end, when he goes back and leaves and she stays, and that's it. That's
I mean, they did have a part where
and then Russian guy's like, "Bye, John Book. Hello, Mama."
Yeah, and here he comes with that stupid smile again. Yeah. I just want to punch him right in the mouth.
I know. Shit.
But Book and him kind of had a mutual respect for each other.
Oh yeah, he liked him more after he beat those guys up.
Yeah, well, Book took up for him.
Yeah,
after he finds out they killed his partner, which his partner did a great job.
That guy was really
Brent
good.
Jennings is the guy who played Carter.
Dude, he was really good because
really solid.
Yeah, because he's like the guy on the phone and he's trying to communicate to him and get him all the information.
Yeah, don't come in, you're too hot.
Yeah, and he's the one that's he's the one that's being scrutinized.
Yeah, and and you finally find out they got to him and killed him.
They finally killed him.
Dude, when Harrison Ford calls that guy at his home.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
so I'm gonna
God.
do to you. I'm gonna get you. Remember, he said, "I'm coming after you." Yeah. Because I always liked your style, Book. I always liked your. I love the way he talks. I love the way Joseph Sumner talks. He's I always liked your style, Book. And then, but when he starts cussing him on the phone, he hangs up. He's like, "Oh shit!"
He's like, "I better bring some firepower."
Well, and this is a question I got for you guys. So at the end in the movie, when Harrison Ford he kills the guy in the silo with the grain. Then he goes in there and he digs out the shotgun. He shoots Danny Glover dead. He comes out. Schaefer sees him, grabs Kelly McGillis, puts the gun to her head, said he'll blow her head off. Right?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, I'm putting the gun down. I'm putting the gun.
Immediately.
Now, this is the thing I want to ask you. Do you think Harrison Ford put the gun down because he thought that Schaefer was going to kill her? Or do you think he put the gun down because he knew that Schaefer wouldn't go through with it and that he could get him to finally realize what he's doing? Because he wouldn't put that gun down with the other guy that he killed in the grain silo. He wouldn't put it down with Danny Glover, but he put it down with Schaefer. Now, he do that because he was really scared he was going to kill her, or that he knew Schaefer's heart that he could get him to stop? Because remember, he starts yelling at him. He says, "Enough of this, Paul. What are you going to do? You're going to kill me? You're going to kill him? You're going to kill this little boy?" Remember, he grabs him, and then you could see it come over Schaefer's face that he's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
You know, I I'm a monster." And he comes to this realization what he's done. Now, did Book know that? Is that why he threw the shotgun down? Okay.
Because I watched it today.
I did too. Yeah.
Yes. And the reason why I say yes is because when they show the scene of his partner in what's the captain's name?
Schaefer.
Schaefer. When he was telling Schaefer, when Schaefer was telling his partner, like, I am really close with John Book. He's like family to me. I taught him everything.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Just like you guys were partners, we were partners once. He says to him.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I knew he knew he was going to shoot that girl. That's why he hired the two thugs to do his.
You think that's why he went ahead and dropped the shotgun just to
Yeah.
calm things down? But
Yes.
because if he really thought he was going to kill her,
He would have.
you think he would have kept that shotgun?
Yeah, and I think
or no.
I personally, I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
You know, at one hand, you don't want to escalate, you know, and he really did. I think he really did think he could reason with him, you know, but it's when the other people of the community started walking in.
Yeah, because he was telling him
you know, and
have
then
that boy stop ringing the bell.
Yeah, and then at that point, you knew, you know, number one, he didn't have enough bullets. Number two, could he really do that? Because you know, it's like you were saying, Scott. It's like he had the enforcers. He had the people that were willing to do the dirty work. You know, but that really wasn't him.
Right.
You know, he wasn't the type to go out and shoot a gal or
kill that
a little boy.
But Danny Glover and the other guy were.
They were. And he had them to do those things that he himself couldn't do.
Right.
You know, he could sit up above it and be like, okay, well, that got taken care of.
He could take the money.
You know, I'll take the money and you do the bad. You know, I'll run cover. But yeah, I don't think he could. I don't think he would have.
But I never thought about that until today when I was watching that.
Yeah.
You know, I was just watching that close and I thought, that's interesting.
That's an interesting dilemma.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting ending to a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
That's, you know, because they didn't do the traditional ending.
Because when Harrison Ford's confronting him, he's almost crying.
Yeah.
He's almost, you could see the tears welling up on his face.
Yeah,
you never seen
a rough day.
You never seen Harrison Ford really look like that. You never seen him look like that with tears on, like, you know, like, damn it, this is my father figure. This has been my best friend. You know, and he's about crying.
Yeah,
because he probably
kid, you know.
Well, plus he probably knew that he could kill him without him hurting the girl or the kid.
Yeah, and in that Joseph Summer, that look he gets on his face, that realization, it's such a great acting job, and it's so great of Peter Weir to zoom in with the camera on that close up of him and his realization of that.
Well, going back to like Thunderheart, you know, at the end when the FBI guy's there, and then all of a sudden he just realizes. Yeah, it's that same kind of thing, you know, where you just get that moment of clarity.
Yeah,
and you know, you lost.
Yeah.
And that's really what it boils down to. It's like you
Enough.
lost, and now you gotta
It's a powerful
you gotta
scene.
you gotta pay the price.
And you
You
ever
know.
notice that Harrison Ford's always got that finger? He's always enough. He's always
Yeah.
pointing that finger in every scene he does. He's like, enough. I love it.
The
Yeah,
Harrison Ford finger.
the Harrison Ford finger.
I like the Harrison Ford
I think
cuss
it,
out of the
I've
pig
never,
photos.
I think
I've never been
Conan
fingered by Harrison Ford, but if I am,
I think Conan O'Brien talked about that, how he's always
did he really?
doing that. Or Fallon, one of those are talking about how he's always, and they showed a bunch of different scenes where he's always pointing. Like in The Fugitive, he's like, "You find this man. You
Yeah.
find this man." Get off my plane.
Yeah.
yeah. Then I guess Star Wars.
Star
He's
Wars,
like,
yeah, he's okay, Jabba.
he's like,
He's
yeah,
always
he's like
pointing. But what a great movie!
It really is.
We didn't mention his sister
Oh, that's
in the
right.
movie. We had
Yeah.
they had kind of this little, sibling rival thing,
Yeah.
going typical brother sister type deal. I could see me doing that to my sister. Going over, getting her involved
Yeah.
in some crap that
And that woman that played his sister was a very big.
Patty
Broad-
LaPoon.
She was a
LaPoon?
very big Broadway actress.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Tony Award winning. Because she the movie directors kind of went through. They went through some directors before Peter Weir came back into the story,
Really?
and one of them was I think it was a female director or somebody. One of the choices for directors was a director of Broadway. And I think they said they only directed like two other movies, but they were going to take a chance on him. And that's how that girl, because he's like, you come on with me and stuff like that. Because I think she was up for the Kelly McGillis role before that. But so was
Really?
also Lucas Haas was up.
For the Kelly McGillis role?
No, for the little boy, because he did a movie with some female director who was actually about to shoot the movie.
Oh,
Okay.
But when they put it on the shelf, she lost the gig, and once they found out that Peter Weir was coming back into the fold, she's like, "You got to see this kid. I was going to use him as what was the name of the kid? Jacob or Daniel or
the kid?
yeah,
Samuel.
Samuel."
Sammy.
She goes, "I got the kid for you to play Samuel. His name's Lucas Haas. I was going to use him when I was there." And so
A friendly handoff.
yeah,
in
and
Hollywood.
Luke, Peter Weir said he just looked at him and said, "That's
Yeah.
it."
I
That
remember
was
my
amazing.
my dad watching this, and he was so got when that kid at the beginning when he takes the hat and he goes up and he's standing on top of the toilet, so in case they looked underneath again,
Yeah.
he thought, man, look how smart this kid is. He said,
Yeah.
look at this kid. He's just
And
something. He said, this kid is amazing.
and there's also a parallel of that of when he's standing on that toilet all scared and stuff. Book also has kind of a scenario like that when he
When he's up
was
in the grain
in the
silo.
grain silo,
Yeah,
and the guy couldn't see him
because it was dark up there.
because it was dark up there and stuff.
Yeah, he
So,
should have been dead. I mean, really, if that guy would have started blasting
I
away,
mean,
he would
that's
have
what
hit
I
him.
would have done if I was that guy. I'd do a couple pop shots just to make sure if he was up there or not.
Yeah,
But thank God he didn't.
yeah,
But that guy, the guy that played that bad guy, he
Fergie.
was.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that guy was creepy looking.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they both were. They
Yeah.
hit the
Yeah,
they
Danny
made
Glover
they made
was
a
really.
thuggish pair.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are
Yeah.
like three monsters coming to that farm.
Really.
Well,
Yeah.
what's cool is
I
the
mean,
music when the music does that
Yeah.
kind of like that
that's
tone, and oh my God,
because when they're doing
your
the
heart starts pounding.
but remember when all the Amish communities running towards them when
Yeah.
they're playing they're playing a certain type of music too.
Yeah.
It is that kind of music in that you could go to sleep
Oh yeah,
listening to some of that
it's
music.
very good
Yeah, 'cause
meditation.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
Yeah.
And Peter Weir is known for his music in movies like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it was a great movie. If you
Yeah.
get a chance to watch Witness, I highly recommend
Yeah.
it.
Again,
It's probably one of my favorite Harrison Ford movies, other than like the Raiders of the Lost Ark and stuff like it. But as far as a regular movie that he's made, not an action, this is my top favorite. I
Oh
think.
yeah, Witness is an
Yeah,
excellent film.
hands down, just one of my favorite performances of Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
again, I didn't care. I can't really tell you why I didn't care for it at the begin when it came out. Maybe it's because it didn't have the traditional Hollywood ending, but
Yeah, I don't understand it
I
because
just well, maybe I just wasn't looking
it
into
wasn't
it that
filmed in black and
much.
white. So
But
I mean,
so but
no,
yeah, so now I went and got a copy of it on 4K and just
you were younger too. I
the
mean, yeah,
you're right.
that could have been
Yeah,
it. You
Yeah,
know,
your
I mean,
perceptions are
you didn't
different,
have a
your expectations
maybe
are.
didn't have a appreciation of it back then
I probably didn't.
like you do now.
I do. Yeah,
No,
I look at movies way different now,
yeah,
but uh, but I got the 4K of it and just the look of it with all that greenery and the wheat fields and the sky when they're building the barn, it's just breathtakingly.
yeah.
It's like a painting that you would put up on your wall in certain scenes and stuff.
You know,
Yeah,
and I know we haven't really touched when they're taking a break from building that barn and they're eating when they're sitting there
right.
eating and Harrison Ford's eating, and then that Alexander Goodenough looks over at him because McGillis had come in and was filling up Harrison Ford's lemonade or tea or something,
Lemonade,
and
yeah.
even the old man's like nudging the other guy, like, look, she's
Yeah.
paying a lot of attention to him, and then that guy looks over at him as he's eating, and he just gives this stare at Harrison Ford, like, I hate you.
Yeah.
I wish you would go home.
That
You know,
or
because you
well
were
played,
set.
sir.
And
Yeah.
Harrison Ford just kind of he's eating that chicken, and he just kind of looks over like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What did I
What
do?
did I do? I'm trying to eat this piece of chicken. What's this guy hawking me for? You know?
I
because
haven't seen her
because
boobies yet, sir.
because still him and Kelly and Rachel, Book and Rachel, they have this attraction, but they don't really quite realize how
Yeah.
much yet. They're oblivious to it, I think.
Well, I
Yeah.
think with
Yeah,
when
it shows
she
good writing, good acting.
yeah,
Yeah.
when she turns to him and shows him her boobs, that's a
Yeah.
bad that's a big
That's
no-no
that's a crazy scene because she's basically saying, "Here I am.
if you want
If
me.
you go ahead and take it," and the look on his face, he just can't do it because he knows again if he crosses this line,
It's gonna ruin
it's
the
going to
ruin
he'll have
all of
like he tells her in the later scenes, if we would have made love, he said either you would have to leave with me or I'd have to stay, and he knew that he couldn't stay in that world.
Yeah.
Even though he loved those people and he'd come to love that family,
yeah.
it's not his world. And he knew he was going to have to leave. And he knew that she couldn't go live in his world. It's just
Dude.
bad timing. It's bad timing. And it's just not going to work.
Yep.
It's just, and he knows it and he realizes it.
Yeah. And that's what
They
makes
both kind of have this moment where they kind of run together at that one scene. They do kiss,
right.
and like they just can't help themselves
Yeah.
in that one scene, but they know that they can't go any further.
I
Yeah,
think that's why a lot of people like that movie because that romance was so different than anything that we've ever saw
yeah,
in a movie or maybe even read in a book or watched on TV.
Not
yeah.
since Shane and that little kid. It's
The girl. But yeah, the movie, I think it was made for 35 mil, made like 275 million.
Wow.
yeah,
It was up for every Oscar. Harrison,
yeah,
it's
it's
for only
so
time
solid.
Harrison Ford has been not was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor,
Yeah.
and he lost to William Hurt from
Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Spider Woman.
Hmm.
And it didn't win Best Picture. Oh, it did win Best.
You sure it wasn't Gandhi?
No,
Oh, I thought he lost to Gandhi.
It won Best Picture and Best Director for Peter Weir, and I think it won for Best Script too.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
So
It did win Best Picture?
it did.
Oh, I did not know that.
Him and
Wow.
the director. Yeah.
And it's probably on the cover of the 4K too.
You sure it wasn't Gandhi?
Dude, stop it with Gandhi. My God.
Okay.
You're making
All
me
right.
hungry.
Well, I guess that's gonna do it for. I guess that's gonna do it for Witness, folks.
There you go.
Like I said, this is the last episode of season 2
Season 2,
for
yeah.
us. It's been a great year
Yeah,
for our
yeah.
podcast. We've
Yeah.
come a long ways. We've, still have things to evolve and stuff, but
We got some stuff
I think
maybe cooking
that's
up.
a lot of videos to do in a year.
Yeah,
40,
absolutely.
really is.
especially with our different schedules and stuff.
Remember, we
And
would drive.
what a way to top off our last episode of season 2, but with a great movie like Witness.
Yeah, I mean,
So I think it's very good to end it that way.
Yeah.
So if you have any
Season 3
comments,
coming up.
suggestions, please email us at spitballcinema@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that.
Make a comment.
It
you know,
helps us.
help us get a little bit more our show would show up more in the algorithm when people's looking up.
True.
Right.
It's always fun to see what people are looking for, what they're interested in.
Yeah.
And,
If you're a new listener, we enjoy. I mean, we hope you enjoyed it. Welcome to our family. And
yeah. And if we don't like your suggestion, we'll just ignore it. So
Exactly.
we'll address it. We'll address it. We'll just say you're crazy.
For God's sakes, just leave a comment. Will
Right.
you? Chris Farley. Yeah, Chris Farley. Leave a comment, will you?
all right.
All right.
Hey, that wraps it up. Hey, I'm Shane.
I'm Scott.
I'm David.
And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, everybody. We love you so much.
Bye.
Man, what is happening?
You said we would be safe in Philadelphia.
Well, I was wrong.
You left with the Amish woman, right?
If they find me, they find the boy.
You bring this man to our house with his gun of the hand?
I have done nothing against the rule of the Ordnance.
Nothing? Maybe not yet.
We know where you are.
Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis. Witness.